Welcome to the entire crypto fam. This is the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, Bitcoin price tracks 26,500 as Bitcoin speculator supply hits a 12-year low. Also breaking news, Coinbase secures an AML registration from the Bank of Spain, as well as analyst Willy says this enemy of Bitcoin is rearing its ugly head once again. We'll also be discussing a classic Bitcoin indicator suggesting a 2024 bull run, says trader who called the May 2021 collapse, Dave the Wave. Also, Max Keiser slams crypto influencer Ben Armstrong, formerly known as Bitboy Crypto, after he raises $80,000 in donations to fund his legal campaign. Max says, get off the Ishcoin crack pipe as soon as you can. Max also says that XRP and ETH are both centralized-ish. This is why they are both verboten in El Salvador, which virtually means forbidden. Also be sharing with you Max Keiser's $1 million Bitcoin price prediction, as he says Bitcoin will beat gold by a factor of 100x as the altcoins will get shut down and go to zero. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show. And a quick reminder, if you're new to the channel, the greatest compliment you can do is smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And if you gain value out of today's show, simply smash that like button and hit the bell icon to turn on notifications, as I greatly appreciate everyone's support. And welcome everyone just joining us. This is pod episode number 1411. I am your host, JV. Today is September 24th, 2023, and naturally we have lots to cover, so let's dive right in. As you can see in our market watch, the entire market is currently correcting back in the red. We have the market cap sitting just above $1 trillion with roughly 16 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance at 49.1% and the Ether dominance at 18.1%. So Bitcoin continues to outpace the second largest crypto, Ethereum. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, we got Curved Out token up roughly 10%, trading under 52 cents, followed by Terra Classic up almost 5%, followed by Aptos up 3%, trading at $5.29, as Bitcoin price action is currently sitting at 26,500, and with Ethereum sitting just under $1,600. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past week, we have WeMix up almost 20%. We got FTT Scam Coin created by FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried up 9%, and CRV up roughly 9%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, one of my favorite indicators, fam. You can see we're currently rated a 44 in fear. Yesterday was a 47 neutral, and last week a 46 in fear. So there you have it. How's your weekend going thus far? Let me know, chat. I appreciate everyone's support. And at the end of the show, as we do each and every day, I'll be reading everyone's comments out loud. Now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts and where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. And again, welcome to everyone just tuning in. I appreciate you. Bitcoin stuck at 26.5 into September 24th's weekly close as the exchange trader accumulation continued, as we can see here in the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart. We got data from Cointelegraph and TradingView showing Bitcoin price stability hodling firm over the weekend. Bitcoin delivered a cool end to the Wall Street trading week, having also shaken off macroeconomic volatility catalysts from the US, with few cues appearing since popular trader and analyst Credible Crypto eyed a slow build up to a trend shift on the Binance order book, quoting him here. Meanwhile, 2 more blocks of bids just filled. The accumulation continues. Maybe we get a slow weekend and start seeing some movement come Monday. Let's see what tomorrow brings. And the day prior, we have another trader, Scoo, who hoped for a liquidity hunt into the weekly close, but this has yet to appear at this time, as he outlines here on X. Bitcoin aggregate CVDs and Delta loading the Sunday liquidity hunt, and further subtle order book changes were noted by Keith Allen, the co-founder of Material Indicators, who spied on the bid liquidity moving higher towards the spot price. Quoting Keith Allen here, looks like Bitcoin bid liquidity at 26,200 turned into a market order. Hashtag fire charts. Now, picking up on the active Bitcoin market participants, popular trader CryptoCon noted a major washout of speculators. We have the short-term hodlers, which is the cohort of Bitcoin investors who have held their coins for 155 days or less, who are now controlling less of the available Bitcoin supply than at any point in over the decade. Now, highlighting data from on-chain analytics firm Glassnode, CryptoCon described the short-term hodler holdings as a fine powder. In other words, there are more strong Bitcoin hodlers than ever before. Where my long-term hodlers at? Let me know, fam. Maybe put a LTH in that live chat. And let me know your thoughts regarding this analysis from some of these top analysts. Where do you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next? And with all that being shared, now let's break down the latest of what is popping with Coinbase in Spain. That's right. According to the latest, Coinbase secures their AML registration from the Bank of Spain. This is a pretty big deal. Crypto exchange Coinbase, the largest exchange in the United States, secured their anti-money laundering compliance registration from Spain's central bank as part of its ongoing expansion across Europe. And according to the September 22nd statement, the registration with the Bank of Spain means that the Spanish users will be able to retain custody of their crypto assets on Coinbase, as well as buy and sell crypto assets in euro. Quoting them here, this registration will allow Coinbase to offer our full suite of products and services to retail and institutional users in Spain, all in compliance with the national legal framework. Let's go. How many of you are tuning in from the UK or Europe or Spain right now? Let me know, fam. It highlighted that almost 1/3 of individuals in Spain have a positive outlook on digital assets. In fact, 29% of the adults in Spain believe crypto is the future of finance. How many of you agree with that statement? And additionally, it noted that crypto had become Spain's second most preferred payment method, surpassing traditional bank transfers. That's not surprising to me. I mean, wouldn't you prefer peer-to-peer versus having a middleman or a third party such as a bank involved? Just saying. We had Nana Murgasan, the vice president of international and business development at Coinbase, stating the exchange continues to seek regulatory compliance across the world, quoting them here. In the last year alone, we have obtained VASP registrations in Italy, Ireland, and the Netherlands, as well as in principal approval and launching in Singapore, launching in Brazil, and most recently, launching in Canada, as shared here in this announcement on X. Now, this follows shortly after the crypto exchange Crypto.com obtained regulatory approval in Spain. And on June 23rd, Crypto.com announced that it had been granted a virtual asset provider registration from the Bank of Spain. And then back in October of 2021, the Bank of Spain provided guidance on the steps for crypto service providers to take to achieve their AML compliance in the country. The institutions specified that crypto exchanges must submit reports detailing efforts to prevent illicit activities such as money laundering and terrorism financing, which the US dollar is notorious for, right? Now, meanwhile, recent reports indicate that Coinbase is aiming to establish a strong presence in Europe. On September 22nd, as reported, Coinbase attempted to buy defunct crypto exchange FTX Europe twice. First in November of 2022, and also when FTX filed for bankruptcy, as well as in September of 2023. This comes amid the European Parliamentary Research Service recently emphasizing the need for non-European regulators to exercise stricter oversight for the global crypto market. And as the Markets and Crypto Assets Regulation Act progresses towards its December 2024 implementation deadline, an EPRS report urges the establishment of more rigorous regulatory framework in non-EU jurisdictions. As outlined here, there are yet several channels through which the EU's financial system and autonomy is still at risk, as it remains dependent on non-EU countries' policy actions in the context of where the MiCA is applicable. So there you have it, fam. Obviously, Coinbase is going to continue to expand. I mean, ushering in adoption for the people of Spain is a beautiful thing. And again, we're just getting started, as it is the crypto versus Operation Choke Point 2.0 and the regulators and unlawful regulation brewing. But I think it's going to, of course, usher in a lot of crypto adoption outside the United States, as it's virtually impossible to comply with crypto regulators in the US because there is no clear black and white, you know what I mean, layout or outline or blueprint of what to follow. They're making it up as they go, and that's a sad thing. So anyways, let's now discuss the enemy of Bitcoin according to on-chain analyst Willy Woo. This is actually quite fascinating, so let's break this down. Shout out to the on-chain analyst. Willy Woo says Bitcoin faces a large obstacle that could foil Bitcoin's potential for future growth. Woo shares a chart with his 1 million followers on X showing the ratio between the paper Bitcoin, which is another term for derivatives that represents Bitcoin, and actual liquid coins. Quoting name Willy Woo. This is a slide from my token 2049 talk. It's the ratio of paper BTC, combined futures open value, that's traded versus the real BTC that is highly liquid and traded. We are now in a regime of 20 to 30% more BTC being traded, percent by the way. This counteracts a bullish supply shock. And in this chart from Glassnode, it shows you the paper BTC versus the real BTC. So according to Wu, the rise of Bitcoin derivatives is taking liquidity away from BTC, enabling price manipulation and weaker rallies. You can thank Mr. Gary Gensler and the SEC for that one, fam. The analyst says that since US dollars are much more abundant and readily available to investors than BTC, the futures and derivatives markets allows the large players to take big chunks of capital and use it to apply inorganic sell pressure on Bitcoin. Wu says the prominence of such markets is the enemy of Bitcoin and the reason why Bitcoin has been less dramatic in rallies in the recent years compared to its early days. Quoting the on-chain analyst here, long term, it allows the institutions who do not have Bitcoin to sell it without restrictions as long as they have lots of US dollars. See how the exponential reflective bull runs ended once futures markets came online. And he goes on to share in a separate post, all you need to check is the daily volumes being traded on futures. It dwarfs the liquidity on the spot markets. So as long as this is the case, spot markets orbit the gravity of future markets and not the other way around. Hence, you see the agenda laid out to delay a spot Bitcoin ETF. For 7 years, spot liquidity has been held back while futures markets have flourished, vastly outgrowing the spot market. And he makes a great point. In fact, I'll take him a step further. It's now been over a decade that the SEC has been denying Bitcoin spot ETF applications, the very first one coming from the Winklevoss twins, the owners of the Gemini exchange, literally over a decade ago. But meanwhile, allowing more and more futures ETFs, that's due so they could spoof the market, which means manipulate it, suppress the price action, and allow their homies on Wall Street to get their piece of the pie, like we're witnessing firsthand right now in 2023 as we roll into 2024, the year of the halving, as well as the spot Bitcoin ETF finally being approved by the SEC. So can you say this is the calm before the storm? But what are your thoughts? How do you think this is likely to play out in the future? Now let's break down our 2024 bull case scenario according to top crypto analyst Dave the Wave. Here we go. A trader known for making several accurate calls on Bitcoin says a classic indicator suggests Bitcoin is on schedule for its bull run next year. Send it. Let's go. Synonymous trader Dave the Wave tells his followers on X Bitcoin's monthly moving average convergence divergence, known as the MACD, has fully reset into underbought bullish territory. The MACD is a momentum indicator that can signal the reversal of an asset's trend. The analyst also uses his own version of logarithmic growth curves known as the LGC, which aims to plot the highs and the lows of Bitcoin's long-term market cycles while filtering out the short-term volatility and noise. Dave the Wave notes the Bitcoin has been trading at the bottom of the LGC, which he calls the buy zone for now 15 months, quoting the analyst here, Q4 and then 2024. Bring it on. The monthly MACD shows a maturing market as predicted along the lines of the LGC model. The MACD had crossed bullishly and, well, we just reset just below the zero line. The price has now been in the LGC buy zone for 15 months as outlined here in this chart. And while the analyst forecasts rallies in the long term, he is not ruling out the short term volatility. Quoting him again, Bitcoin is still in the buy zone for the longer term investors. And while most of my charts emphasize the macro bullish picture, this does not preclude the possibility of further consolidation in the short term. Were such an event to occur, it would no doubt traumatize many on crypto Twitter. However, for those subscribing to the LGC model, it would just be another day at the office. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the prediction from this crypto analyst. I'm going to agree that we're likely to have that bull run scenario in 2024, reaching a new all-time high. The previous all-time high was set back in November of 2021 at 69,000. And if we only to 2x the previous all-time high, that's $138,000 price action. And just for a comparison of the previous cycle, remember when 20,000 was the all-time high of 2017? Well, guess what? We hit 69,000 the following cycle peak in 2021. So that was a 3.5x climb from the previous all-time high. Now, if we 3x again from the previous 69K all-time high, we're talking about a multiple six-figure Bitcoin price action cycle peak sometime post 2024 halving more than likely going to be in 2024 or 2025? But let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below. Now let's break down the latest of Ben Armstrong, formerly known as Bitboy Crypto. How many of you have been watching the ongoing saga and drama between him and the Hit Network? Let me know your thoughts, fam. It's been really heating up, and Max Keiser shared his two Satoshis as well regarding Ben Armstrong. So I want to share this latest article of Max Keiser ultimately slamming Ben Armstrong for accepting donations and raising $80,000 to fund his legal campaign. Here we go. American broadcaster and filmmaker Max Keiser, the high priest of Bitcoin, on Thursday made critical remarks about crypto influencer Ben Armstrong, who, FYI, with the brand Bitboy, he was the largest, I believe, roughly 1.5 million YouTube subscribers. Well, here's what happened. Keiser likened Armstrong's promotion of Ishcoins to addictive and destructive substances, emphasizing the potential harm that they can cause. Quoting him here, "My advice to Crypto Boy is to get to Ishcoiners Anonymous meeting and get off the Ishcoin crack pipe as soon as you can, because it doesn't get better. If you keep ODing on Ishcoins, your life can only get worse. Ishcoins are poison. Look what they did to this poor guy." And reading Max's tweet here, Ishcoins are like heroin, meth, and alcohol. They're addictive and extremely destructive. And this is Ben Armstrong saying, you know, the Hit Network has taken all of my money from me, so I can't fight. I'm humbly asking anyone who has ever benefited from my content or anything I have done to help donate to my legal fund to get Bitboy Crypto back. And he gives you his Ethereum address. And lo and behold, I believe he has already received over $80,000 in donations. Let me know if you're one of the many who have sent him a donation. He's also accepting donations, I'm sure, on Bitcoin, XRP, and all the, options of cryptocurrencies. So, I mean, why does this matter? This comes after Armstrong on Tuesday took to X, where he appealed to his followers for financial assistance for his legal battle to regain control over Bitboy Crypto, describing it as the most traumatic experience of his life. Armstrong expressed the immense strain and situation has placed on him and his family, even mentioned that some close friends and family members turned against him, specifically his uncle, as he reveals, plunging his life into turmoil. And in light of these circumstances, he appealed to his followers for support for his legal campaign. Also like to throw out there some interesting things as well. Obviously, I mean, they just confiscated or took control of his Lambo he's been complaining about. If you don't know, a Lamborghini is a multiple six-figure car. He says he was, coerced into signing away his Lamborghini, and he's seeking it back. He's now looking to press criminal charges against members of the Hit Network. I don't know all of their names. I don't really know much about them personally, but he says they're going to be facing criminal charges. He also claims to have received death threats through his wife, through this guy who's allegedly named Carlos, and they said they'll put him and bury him in the ground. So Bitboy claims to be very scared and for his life and going to be pressing charges. How do you think this is likely to play out? Now, obviously, I mean, Bitboy was the attractor factor that attracted 1.5 million people to the channel. So now he's no longer known as Bitboy, and whoever owns the Hit Network took control of that channel with a new brand. So virtually Bitboy as a brand is now dead, and now Bitboy had become his initial government name, I would assume, which is Ben Armstrong. And Ben Armstrong currently has roughly 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, but most of the audience who would have been tuned in on the Bitboy channel are now already following him on the new channel. So more than likely, I think Ben could bounce back even stronger and gain a lot of the community support. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Do you think that Ben Armstrong is in the right or in the wrong for requesting donations? Some people are complaining because they're like, yo, Ben rocks a $50,000 Rolex. He has Lamborghini. It looks like he's living in a very beautiful 7-figure crib. So why does he have the audacity to ask for donations? And then some people, I don't know if this is true or not, but they showed Binance screenshots that he allegedly has over $600,000 worth of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in an exchange. So people are like, why are you so ignorant to donate to this guy? I don't really know much about his personal situation, but one thing that sucks and is for real is when this type of stuff is, in the public. I mean, talking about, being unfaithful to your wife and cheating on her, having an affair is definitely not a good look. So, I mean, much respect for Max for calling it the way that he sees it. And let's get back to Max and some of his predictions here, which are quite interesting, which he recently shared on crypto Twitter. He also points out here that XRP and Ethereum are both centralized-ish, and this is why they're both verboten in El Salvador, which virtually means they are forbidden. And he says they even do ish-coin shaming, kind of like fat shaming in El Salvador. Max Keiser also recently tweeted the DHS prefers a fiat-like system they can easily hack, like XRP, referring to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. It says it is more likely that in the near future, a currency-agnostic peer-to-peer payment transfer mechanism like Ripple will be used to access U.S. dollars instead of a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Ripple XRP is based on a consensus algorithm and is not controlled by a centralized institution or government. But Max points out here, people care about their money, number one. Number two, making paper profits and centralized garbage is meaningless. And number three, XRP empowers the top 1% controlling the system. You are confusing it with Bitcoin. Number four, you admit you have no ethics, and I will pray for you, my son. Now, Max has also made some other, very bold predictions, as I commonly share here on a daily basis. He also shared back in 2021 that Bitcoin will beat gold by a factor of 100x, while the altcoins get shut down and it all goes to zero against Bitcoin. And now let's discuss that for a quick moment. The gold market cap is roughly $10 trillion. So if Bitcoin was to grow 100x in comparison to gold, I mean, only 10xing the gold market cap would put the Bitcoin market cap at $100 trillion. We know the total addressable market is just north of 700 trillion. So it can become a possibility. I also personally feel what Max prophesize right there will become a reality. Everything will eventually go to zero against Bitcoin because the purchasing power of the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to go down, while the purchasing power of Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to go up. It's simple stock to flow, supply and demand. And as we all know, we're going to be having a supply shock next year, witnessed like in no other year before. We also have, the Bitcoin halving. We also have the spot Bitcoin ETF United States approval, more than likely. The ETF analyst experts over at Bloomberg give it a 95% chance of approval, which can literally send in $30 trillion into the Bitcoin market cap. Just like that, sending the Bitcoin price action parabolic. But let's get deeper into some more of Max Keiser's personal predictions here. Let's see what I should read next. I'm going to go with, from this particular interview where he made these bold predictions. Max says, if you're going to price Bitcoin and fiat money, the price is infinity because fiat money has no bottom while Bitcoin has no ceiling. If you priced it in ounces of gold, that would be more valid way to price it. I am not sure exactly what the exchange rate is for an ounce of gold to Bitcoin, but whatever it is, you can multiply it by 100 times, and that's where we are going to be heading. He also shares regarding the altcoins and other cryptos are not Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was founded in 2009, it was an absolute scarce digital commodity, and there was no expectation of cash flow, Keiser explained. Everything that came after Bitcoin is essentially saying, we are like Bitcoin, but because of the way it is done, there is no expectation or cash flow. Therefore, it is a security, and the SEC has the right to shut down every altcoin there is. All altcoins are simply unregistered security sales. Bitcoin is decentralized, but the altcoins are all either absolutely centralized or relatively centralized to Bitcoin. There is a single point of failure. They are easy to take down. He also says regarding Ethereum, it's centralized garbage. Its transactions are reversible, and they have been many times in the past. It has a huge pre-mine that's dropped onto the market, which is messing up the price discovery. It's got a huge issue in terms of auditing. Nobody knows how many Ethereum there are. Facts. I bring that up a lot of times here on the show. Nobody in the world knows what the count is. Facts. If you go to CoinMarketCap right now, it'll show you the infinity sign for the market cap, meaning the overall supply. Now, he also says it's completely a nebulous number, that the supply keeps expanding extemporaneously depending upon the central committee of Ethereum that decides, without any understanding by the market what is going to run on the networks. It's all centralized, it's easy to attack, and it will be attacked. You'll see all kinds of price movements on a short-term basis. It's not easy to understand why certain things are trading the way they are, because you have dislocations and price disparities in markets all the time. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with those wise words of Max Keiser. He also shared that in a recent interview that just 1% will cause the price of Bitcoin to skyrocket. And he's talking about the institutional money coming into BTC. So here's a few of those highlights. And then I also want to piggyback with this article. The boomers are what? New macro reports forecast a $1 million Bitcoin price action by 2025. Chiming in, we have the macro guru, Raoul Pal, and some more thoughts from Max Keiser. But back to his quotes here. Everything will go to zero against Bitcoin. And so for someone like myself who has been following this for 40 years, finance markets, technology, Bitcoin is the holy grail. It is the end all. 100%, I agree with that. He also talks about smart money coming into Bitcoin, such as the oil money of the Middle East, which we all know is just a matter of time. And maybe some of these countries also adopt Bitcoin as the legal tender. And back to price predictions, here's what he has to share. Either we're going to be a small position or a big position, but we cannot ignore it. We cannot not have a position. So even 1% of the multi-$100 trillion funds available moves the needle on Bitcoin. It does move it up quite considerably. So if we get into that 5-10% range, you'll start to really see it raise ahead of the seven-figure type predictions that people have been making, including myself, because Bitcoin is an asset class. Preach, Max. He's dropping truth bombs right here. He also more recently made the prediction that El Salvador will become debt-free by 2030, and by doing it with Bitcoin. And this is where he also doubles down on that $1 million Bitcoin price prediction. Here's what he shares. Countries around the world are beginning to accumulate and mine Bitcoin as the world of fiat money and central banks disintegrate. With the benefit of President Bukele's new laws, such as making Bitcoin a legal tender, we have the ability to lead the world and arguably become the richest country in the world. Preach. Now, he also goes on to share that right here, he has been very vocal. As we know, he predicts that Volcano Energy's market cap will grow to $50 billion, exceeding El Salvador's GDP, which is estimated to currently be $29 billion. And he goes on to share that this growth will be powered by the rise of the price of Bitcoin to $1 million per coin, which he qualified this prediction as a mathematical certainty. So there you have it, fam. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the prediction from the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, that El Salvador will become debt-free by 2030, and the Bitcoin price action will likely hit $1 million per coin, which actually leads me to this next story I wanted to piggyback off of. This was actually published a couple of years back, and it's talking about Bitcoin rallying to $1 million per coin by the year 2025. Quoting macro guru first, Raoul Pal, the damage this does to the U.S. pension system is incomprehensible. The baby boomers will sell every rally they can to protect their last rapidly diminishing nest egg. And he goes on to share, the baby boomers are totally screwed. I have been publicly warning about this. Now, Bitcoin proponents have argued that this represents the intrinsic unfairness of the current fiat economic model, which big businesses turn numbers while employees and small businesses are left with nothing. Max Keiser has termed this neo-feudalism. Now, for Raoul Pal, Bitcoin represents a striking exit opportunity from the rapidly deteriorating status quo. Whereas gold can go up to 5 times in the next 5 years, Bitcoin has so much more potential. Quoting him here, Bitcoin, well, it's a different story. I think it can go to 1 million in the same period. I think it can go from a $200 billion asset class to a $10 trillion asset class. And he continues, it is an entire trusted, verified, secure financial and accounting system of value that can never be created outside of the cryptographic algorithm. It is nothing short of the future of our entire medium of exchange system and the money itself and the platform on which it operates. So there you have it, fam. Let me know once again, do you feel $1 million Bitcoin price is inevitable? And by what year do you feel it's likely to come into fruition? Let me know your thoughts, fam. And if you gain value out of today's episode, you already know what to do. The greatest compliment you can do is smash that like button, as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, I greatly appreciate everyone's support. And if you didn't know, we launched a secondary channel, which is Crypto News Alerts Clips. I'm uploading somewhere between 5 to 10 new clips and shorts every single day. It's growing right now like gangbusters. We already have like over 350 subscribers. Check it out at clips.cryptonewsalerts.net, as all the shorts and clips taken from this live stream are exclusive on the new channel, meaning you can't find them on the live stream channel. If you don't know, now you know. Massive shout out to everyone in the live chat. How's everyone's Sunday and weekend coming along thus far? Passive Income AI, what it do? Jack Gion, Chris Minka, Melda the Witch, Johnny Saint, what's good? Good to see you guys. Matthew J, Digital Dankness, David number 23, Tennessee Eco Man, what it do? Felix Hopkins, good to see you, fam. David Arnold in the building. Spycraft UK Security Gadgets since 1998, what it do? You guys got the best usernames in the whole crypto sphere space. Just saying. Massive shout out to everyone. Barry BTC, Knoxville, what's up? Bitcoin's looking like it's making it through September without a major drop in the price. So far, so good, right, Jeff? But Bitcoin is still in a descending wedge pattern on the daily charts. We could experience a drop in the price for Bitcoin in the second week of October. We shall soon see. October is around the corner, right? And yes, this is pod episode number 1411. Cheers to the next 1411 episodes over the course of the next 4 or 5 years. Where do you think Bitcoin price will be on episode number 2822? Let me know, fam. Smash the like. Thank you. Appreciate it. Greg Miranda. Yeah, I made it off early from work. Need a Lambo. Let's go. Let's get it. Good choice of a ride. Definitely when it comes to speed. Stomp it. Let's go. Appreciate the support. Greg says, JV, I've been to Puerto Rico. I haven't been there, though, since the 90s. Do people still hang out in front of their houses at night and talk? I thought that would be cool. I guess it would all depend upon the community in which you live. I live in a pretty upscale community, and people are outside talking all the time, you know, getting together as families and barbecues. So I would say overall, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's good stuff. How many of you have actually been to Puerto Rico? Let me know, because as you know, we have a 100K Bitcoin Fiesta celebration occurring when Bitcoin surpasses the current all-time high and heads towards that 100,000 price action. Denver Hodl, welcome. You came to the right place for some hopium as we take hits from that hopium bong here each and every day, 7 days a week. Puff, puff, pass. You know the name of the drill. Can't type today. Put in work in my earbuds and plug. You got to do what you got to do, Tim. Appreciate the support regardless. I think I warmed up my fingers with finger push-ups. That's what's up. I still do finger push-ups. I've been doing them since 16, inspired by Bruce Lee. I'm sure many of you have seen the Bruce Lee footage in black and white where he's cranking out 2 finger push-ups, and then I think the man even does 1 finger push-ups with 1 hand, which is incredible. I do finger push-ups. I usually start out with just on 10 fingers, and I'll even put my feet on the couch to make it more elevated and difficult, and then I'll finish up. I'm usually doing 3 finger or 2 finger push-ups. My fingers are also very strong thanks to finger push-ups. So yeah, I'm glad you brought up finger push-ups. Don't even know how they came up, but yeah, make your fingers stronger. Why not? Let's go. Let's get it. Long-term hodlers in the building. Love to hear that. Music to my ears. Shout out to J-Dub the Laker, Chris Minka. My TA has been buying at 25.9. That's what's up. Keep stacking them stats. Melda says long-term hodler. Walter says long-term hodler, baby. Tim says long-term hodler. I am a long-term hodler. And most of us got my short-term hodler bag also, says Chris. Word up. Wow, nice. I've subscribed to Crypto News Alerts Clips channel. Totally support you and all your daily hard work. Thank you, Yo-Yo. I greatly appreciate that. I want to get the new channel to 1,000 subs as fast as humanly possible so we can monetize it, right, as another income source, and then I could help scale this show, create more content, and do more great things so we can help spread that crypto adoption mainstream. You know what I mean? As the Bitcoin game theory continues in full effect, especially entering into 2024, game on. It's hunting season, so watch out, bears. You should be in wherever you go hiding, you know, what do we call that when the bears go hiding? What's the term we use? Groundhogs do it. I forget. You guys let me know. It slipped my mind. Yeah, hibernation. There we go. Hiding in hibernation. When will Coinbase have FDIC insurance is the real question. That is a great question. Tennessee Eco Man, no clue. When Bitcoin is traded on the stock market, FDIC will happen, says Passive. Sounds good, says Tennessee. J-Dub in the building. Top for Spain. Shout out to my peeps in Spain. FDIC insurance means nothing. It's only good for 250,000. If 1 in every 10 people tried to pull their money out of the bank, the whole Ponzi USD would collapse. Matthew is speaking facts. Because, for example, the FDIC insurance, if there was a bank run, is not going to cover the overall deposits into the bank because the banking system is a Ponzi scheme. That is a fact. There's no question about it. That's a descending wedge I was talking about, says Jeff. Michigan in the building. Shout out to Hodl Mike. Stacking stats tomorrow on my reoccurring buy. Congratulations, Felix. Way to stack them stats. Which application are you using to do so? Maybe Strike. Let me know. 180,000 at least. Send it. Let's go. Jason Bitmart, one of the best channels on YouTube. Preach JV. Thank you, Jason B. I appreciate it, Mr. Bitmarch. One love. Hello, JV. All the peeps here from LA. Shout out to LA. I got nothing but California love for you. I stopped watching Bitboy a few years ago when he became an Ishcoin shill. I don't feel bad for him. I've never really followed him much, but I've just been following the controversy and the saga and the chaos via X, you know what I mean, with all the drama going on between him and his own company. It's insane. I guess I'm grateful to own my own channel, as I could never be fired. I guess that's a plus, right? The gospel of Satoshi needs to get out. 100% Jay. Agree with you. 250,000 insurance would be the key to mass adoption. You do not know how multiple accounts at different banks. You need to think bigger and smarter. Word up. I mean, it makes no logical sense to ever put $1 million in a bank account if you're only insured up to 250,000. So for example, what you're saying, if you believe the insurance is really insured with the FDIC, it would make more sense to have 4 bank accounts with 250,000 and 1 bank account with 1 mil, as you can quickly lose all that money. You know what I mean? I avoid drama at all costs, especially when it comes to my money. If you can't control your emotions, you're just lose most of your capital. Facts. Can't say that I ever followed him, given my youngest brother Bitcoin for his B-Day for a present. Salute. That's what's up, Felix. It doesn't matter if you have 10 bank accounts, the limit per person, not bank. Oh, good to note. I didn't even know that. Bitboy is so crooked, dude. Says Jack. I have never heard this dude before, to be honest. And Melda, maybe that's a good thing. I've also accepting donations. That's what's up. 250,000 saved is better than 0 saved. Facts. Bitboy Karma is catching up to him, says Chris. Bitcoin is better than 250,000 in my opinion. Same here, because we know over the long haul, Bitcoin will surpass that 250,000 level, right? Anyone trying to keep him in a Lambo is crazy. Help keep him in a Lambo, right? Wrong. Most multi-million-dollar investors spread their money between different banks for full coverage. An example, NBA player recently did it and made it new. Check it out. Spycraft. Ish coins are for ish people, not for me. Risk a pump and dump. Good luck. Bitcoin is king, always will be. And just my opinion. I will donate to Bitboy though. D's nuts, says Jack. Not from me. Ben is wrong. David Arnold says, I got enough issues in my life. I don't care about Ben. I don't care about the Kardashians. Word up, Dave. You might want to know this info. If Bitcoin 1000Xs soon, Matthew says, I'd rather have a free market than insurance from a corrupt institution. No thanks on your FDIC insurance. I definitely can relate to you there, Matthew. Anyone who donates money to Bitboy deserves to be a rube in life. Word, trust over trust, pure simple. He's asking for donations because he has no conscious and is pure trash, says Jack. Melda says Bitboy should have hodled instead of buying a big house and an expensive car. Sage advice. Sorry, guys. Enough hatred from me for Bitboy. Yes, Melda, agree. It would be naive to think that we don't get banks involved in crypto, in my opinion. In fact, it's already happening. Good point. Suck boy, says David number 23. Max Keiser knows what he's talking about. He is ruthless, but always truthful. Preach. That's going to be comment of the day. Thank you, DW. If you could meet Satoshi tomorrow, what would you ask him? That's a great question. I'd have to really ponder some questions. If I had an interview opportunity, I'd put a lot of thought into that. Some of the questions that come off the top of my mind, what inspired you to create Bitcoin? Did you think it would ever grow as large as it has? Do you think it would ever hit the price action it has? Do you think it would become the future currency of the world? What's the likelihood you felt that it would take off? These are some questions I think off the top of my mind. And how long have you been masterminding Bitcoin behind the scenes before launching the Genesis block in 2009? Who are all the people involved with the creation of Bitcoin and Satoshi, the moniker itself? These are some questions I would love to know, fam. All the banks move into crypto or they will die. That's right. You either got to adapt or, fade away. JV, any thoughts? Johnny the Saint, what's your question, Johnny? Roth IRAs, fam, any thoughts about at all? Well, there's obviously a lot of tax incentives with growing crypto or money in an IRA. And I guess it all depends upon your personal goals and how much you trust the IRA company and et cetera. So, if you have more of a specific question, I'm happy to answer. I think it all depends upon your situation and your needs and your goals, and everyone's going to be different. For instance, Bitcoin goes up to $1 million and the banks will give 12% for holding it. You wouldn't put a quarter if it was insured, 25%, you're saying, or a quarter of a percent. IRAs are based on the dollar to gain purchasing power. Bitcoin does it without government intervention, just my humble opinion. About to roll over my 401k into a Bitcoin IRA. Any recommendations, fam? Holla back. I guess just do your research is my biggest, bit of insight for you. Hopium was good, plebs. Hopium is always good. Puff, puff, pass, right? Global real estate market cap is 300 trillion. 1% of that will easily enter into Bitcoin, right? We got digital property better than physical property, just saying. That's 3 trillion in a price of $150,000 per Bitcoin. Easy, says Chris Minka. I'm with you, fam. I much rather own some digital property such as Bitcoin versus Manhattan property or Bahamian property, even Puerto Rico property. I'd say in general, digital property is just as scarce, if not more. There can only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. There's more than 21 million properties, of course, with physical land in the world, right? So it just goes to show you the future is digital property. Let's go. It has a true scarcity. We know physical property has a scarcity, but there's still so much property in the world. And who controls most of that property? Probably the World Economic Forum, probably Warren Buffett, and these rich, whatever, multiple hundred billionaires. You know what I mean? Yeah, 2023 or sooner. Fran freaking tastic. Good to hear that. Why shouldn't Bitcoin replace how everything with value is stored eventually? I think eventually it will. Feeling like the SEC will pull the on us plebs in October. I mean, expect the unexpected. I don't trust them. Trust nobody. Verify everything. The motto of Bitcoin. I don't think a Bitcoin IRA is safe as owning the asset yourself, but I haven't done a ton of research. Yeah, I guess the $1 million question is, the IRA account that would be holding your crypto, how long have they been around for? How long have they been involved in crypto? And do they have a clear track record? Do you trust them 100%? Do you trust them holding the asset for you more than you self-custodying and holding the asset yourself? These are all very viable questions I would be asking myself before making any big moves. Tony Jeffries in the building. On the phone. Welcome. Appreciate you tuning in on the phone. Thank you, JV. Great show piece. Appreciate you, DCA. 234,000 on the dot by episode 2209. You hear that, guys? Let's put that in stone. $234,094.15 price action by episode 2209. Let's see how accurate that ends up being. Knoxville, 100K Fiesta. Let's go. Puerto Rico. Someone clip that. Get it? I landed at the airport. Does that count? It should. I've been to Puerto Rico 15 years ago. I don't remember much other than the beach. Well, what do you remember from the beach? Was it a pleasant experience? Let me know, fam. Dude, grip strength helps with longevity. 100%. Got to get that forearm strength. You know what I mean? Long-term hodler, says Felix. Hibernation. Thank you with that. Hibernate. That was the word I was looking for earlier. The term in the bull market, right? About to roll over my 401k, says Johnny Saint. Holla back. Hibernate. Max Keiser is a legend. FDIC is cash for some cash, not BTC. Len says, I'm surprised Bitcoin isn't more popular among the younger generation. Any thoughts as to why? That's a great question. How young of a generation are we talking? I do think Bitcoin is popular amongst the younger generation versus the older generation. If we compare Gen Z, for example, against the baby boomers, I'm 40 years old and my generation is very familiar with Bitcoin. So I would assume anyone younger than my generation should be familiar with it, unless they're living under a rock and they have very idiotic parents who believe in working hard and accumulating dollars and saving in 401ks for retirement, which in today's modern age makes absolutely no sense, in my humble opinion. You know what I mean? Please smash the like. Thanks for the reminder, Jeff. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Bitboy sold his channel, but without him on that, channel has no real value. Great point. You can have 1.5 million subs. Doesn't mean anyone needs to tune in and listen to you live, especially if you're the mofos that took over the guy's channel and now no one has any respect for you because they think you are, you know what I mean, bullying, which ironically seems to be what is happening. He's been bullied out of his own channel, kind of like when Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company with Apple. Hate to compare Bitboy with Steve Jobs, but you get the point of what I'm trying to say. So yeah, be careful who you do business with. That's the moral and lesson of the day. Don't trust anybody. Verify everything. Checking in late, but smashing that like. Thank you, Zap. Appreciate it. Len says, Tim's Crypto, it still surprises me that people don't consider government debt, inflation, and think about the alternatives like BTC. It's mind-boggling. We live in a mind-boggling world, don't we? Never liked that guy. Bitboy, you fed him, and now you donating more money for what? It's his mistake. Good point there. I mean, it's hard to feel sorry for a guy who was just, unfaithful to his own wife, because this is what I think about. If you're willing to be unfaithful to your own wife, that's supposed to be the most intimate person in your world, that means how can you expect him to be honest to random strangers he's preaching to on YouTube if he's not even honest to his own wife? Am I the only one who thinks that way? You know what I mean? If I was unfaithful to my own wife and cheating on her, then I'd give you every right to be very skeptical about everything I've ever said for my entire life. But that's just me. I'm a faithful person. You know what I mean? I don't understand that, and I don't understand doing that publicly on the public eye, because you're really just shaming your wife even more, and you're making yourself look like an idiot. And I trust him less now that I know he had an affair on his wife. Do you trust him more because he revealed that publicly? I don't know. I don't trust him whatsoever. I think it's entertaining. It's obviously a fascinating story, and we'll see how it all plays out. But that's why I repeat Max Keiser's sentiment. Look what ish coining can do to you, fam. You might want to get straight with Satoshi. Just saying. You know what I mean? Litecoin has 4x the supply of Bitcoin, but less than 1% of the mining XO hash. Trying to get my mates into Bitcoin, but they think I am stupid. We'll see who has the last laugh. I've heard that one before. You know what I mean? Over the years, I'm 53 years old and only trust Bitcoin. Smart man, Barry. Bitboy will sell his story to Hollywood. Wolf of Crypto. Bitcoin has 98% of all hash. Dogecoin is number 2. Ain't that crazy to even fathom? I would with insurance for passive income, but that's me. When people sell their Bitcoin for everyday use, my grandkids will have the trust fund wallet. Word up, JV 100%, says Chris. He wasn't smart enough to not get caught. Seems to be this way. 51 and knee deep in Bitcoin. Love to hear that, Steve. It seems a lot of my audience is even older than I. Much love, much respect. Anyone here younger than 40? Younger than me? Let me know. It seems a lot of people are in their 50s and their 40s and their 60s, which is what's up. It's all good. People like you will eventually give them control over your Bitcoin by giving them your coins, says Matthew. Nah, you're on point, JV. Ben has created the drama and is not focused on crypto aspect that brought him the success. Yeah, that's because the drama sells. I don't think so many people are really concerned to tune into him for the news. They are tuning in for the drama, and he seems to be bringing plenty of that. There's no shortage of drama, that's for sure. I am 20, Felix Hopkins, boss, word up, much respect. So by the time you're my age, hopefully you're sitting on thousands of Bitcoin, fam. Much love, much respect. TI says I'm 40, Dankness is 41. Wow, we just about the same age. How crazy. I'm going to be 41 in February. Passive income is 63, word up. I mean, it's cool. We have every generation here. We got y'all in your 20s. We probably got teens in here. We got y'all in your 40s, such as myself. We got people in their 60s. They make billions for that drama. It does seem to be that way. Something I found interesting, Ben, he talks about how Stake basically saved his company because I guess the person he was having the affair with, according to his own, video he released the other day, I think that was late last night, the girl got him like $1 million a month Stake partnership. And if you're not familiar with Stake, it's, I think, the largest gambling, website in the world. I know UFC and a lot of big companies, conglomerates, push Stake, as being, the crypto gambling empire, whatever that may be. Obviously, it's going to teach people bad habits, and you're making a lot of money off of them gambling, which is not a good look to begin with. But long story short, they say that $1 million a month deal, you know how they were pushing stake, they were receiving $1 million per month. And according to Ben, there was a $50,000 a month commission that was going to like an intern or an assistant or the lady he was eventually having the affair with. And this created controversy and jealousy within the office because then, who knows, craziness. But it kind of blows my mind that this company was receiving $1 million per month from Stake. So it makes me think, how much gambling volume are you bringing to this gambling monopoly in order for them to be paying you $1 million a month in commissions? Good Lord. And this is the guy you want us to feel sorry for? The guy who was cheating on his wife, driving around in a multiple six-figure Lamborghini, rocking a Rolex, living a very luxurious lifestyle, and bragging and going against smaller YouTubers and, kind of scaring them with lawsuits in the past and doing a lot of shady things, promoting a lot of shady, coins, which I wouldn't dare promote on my, channel. That's why we stick with Bitcoin and we get rid of the ish coinery. We're not here to be promoting ish coins, because to me, that's the same as going on stake and gambling your cryptocurrency. How much money do you think people have lost as a result of him pushing, Stake, which is a crypto gambling website? So I just think it's not a good look at the end of the day. And I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to, do anything in a negative fashion to somebody when they're at their bottom as well. So I'll just leave it at that, because this is according to his own words and his own testimony from his own videos. I just happen to watch because I find it entertaining, for lack of better entertainment out there. JV, how long until you think we can gain interest in Bitcoin in the US? What do you mean to gain interest? I think Bitcoin has gained massive interest in everyone's attention, but because of the regulators putting the fear of God in investors' hearts by spreading FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, this is probably the reason a lot of people are unsure. And as long as people in the United States are unsure, they're not going to be bullish, right? Because they have that fear in the back of their mind. Yo, Bitcoin, who knows? This crypto is unregulated, or it could be an unregistered security. Maybe I shouldn't touch that. We have, Kramer saying stay away from Bitcoin. Maybe the guy is right. All these crazy questions people be asking themselves. But I think Bitcoin adoption will continue. I think it's safe to say more than half the people in the United States are familiar with Bitcoin. At least they have heard of it, especially when we hit that 69,000 all-time high. Everyone and their mom wanted a Bitcoin position, like literally. And now it's years later, we have the opportunity to stack sats in the low. 26,000, in my humble opinion, is a steal. I'd be stacking as much Bitcoin as humanly possible, knowing we can easily 3x and return to the all-time high, re-enter price discovery mode. And, let's go. Liftoff 2024 is right around the corner. Bitcoin halving April. What is that, 6 months out? We can easily get to 100,000 with or without the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF by the SEC. So it becomes irrelevant. No one's going to be able to suppress the Bitcoin price action for much further. Maybe they have another year tops. We'll see how it plays out. What are your thoughts, fam? Let me know. Good stuff. 59 says farmer. Word, puff, puff, pass over here from Virginia Beach area, P-Town. 56 years, mofo and the young. That's what's up. My mom is 70 years young, and I believe she'll be around for another 70 years, because age is nothing but a number. If you're working out and, respecting your body as the temple, health and fitness, you can live a very prosperous life. And I think health and Bitcoin, health and wealth go along hand in hand. Because what good is your Bitcoin hodlings without good health, and vice versa? What good is your health without Bitcoin if you're not going to be able to enjoy yourself and live a lifestyle of freedom and sovereignty, if you're going to be enslaved by the fiat money matrix CBDC, central bank digital currency scheme? Mass adoption, send it. Melda, you know what's up. Get your friends on the broadcast. Melda, we need more Bitcoin female pioneers. Just saying. The fear is Bitcoin is still too volatile, and that the value goes up and down. It's supposed to be volatile. That's what creates so much opportunity. The ups and downs, the swings. Traders love that. Market makers especially love that. You should respect that volatility. I heard Michael Saylor call the volatility life force. That's right. The force is strong up in this BTC. Just saying. God bless you and your moms. Thank you, T.I. Hola from Costa Rica, the Bitcoin jungle, says Robert Gunzelman. Word up, my old stomping grounds. I lived in Cocoa Beach, Guanacaste province, Costa Rica. I lived in Punta Leona near Jaco. I got a lot of love for Costa Rica. So Pura Vida fam. Yield on Bitcoin in US time frame. Oh, word, Chris. Hells yes, I love it, says Passive. G-Unit. Says Chris D. Word up. Shout out to the top G. No. Like lending Bitcoin to the bank. Oh, for yield. Yeah, those products existed within Celsius and BlockFi. Unfortunately, they both went bankrupt. Just a matter of time. Once Bitcoin ETF gets the approval, I think the banks will be introducing these types of products, and it'll be common ground. There'll be a lot of competition, and with competition creates better products and services. So we shall soon see. Mass adoption, yo, send it. I don't like to gamble. Life is a gamble overall. To get more into through sports, I'll pass and I'll use sports to disconnect. Word up, I feel you. I can't walk but love my life in Bitcoin. Well, God bless you, Barry. Are you in a wheelchair? I didn't know that, but God bless you. Sending strength and prayers your ways. Good stuff. Anyways, fam, now for a recap, what I cover with you here in today's show. I broke down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as the Bitcoin price action tracks 26.5 as Bitcoin speculator supply hits a 12-year low. We also discussed breaking news that Coinbase secures their AML registration from the Bank of Spain, virtually meaning that Spain's retail and institutional investors can now plug into BTC on Coinbase. We also discussed analyst Willy says the enemy of Bitcoin is rearing its ugly head once again, and it's not Peter Schiff. We also discussed classic Bitcoin indicators suggest a 2024 bull run, according to trader Dave the Wave, who called the May 2021 Bitcoin collapse. We also discussed the high priest Max Keiser slamming crypto influencer Ben Armstrong after he raises $80,000 to fund his legal campaign. Max says, get off the Ishcoin crack pipe as soon as you can, Ben. We also discussed the latest from Max Keiser and his $1 million Bitcoin price prediction as El Salvador becomes debt-free by 2030. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. And if you gain value out of today's show, go ahead and smash that like button and hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. That it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on